this show is bigger than just the Darren Woodson show. It's bigger than just a certain category of the old football category of, what we do. This show symbolizes so much, and we cover so much positive talk and all. So we changed the name. I'm excited about this show today. It's the last show of the year.
Yeah.
We put a lot of work in this year, specifically you two, probably more so than me, but put a lot of work. No, we put a lot of work in this year, and we've had so many changes throughout this year that when we look back and look at the journey that we've had over the last year, we've done a lot. We've accomplished a lot on this show. I'm not sure what your guys' thoughts are, but just through the holiday season, I've had time to just sit back and look and think and take perspective on all the things that we've gone through. And sometimes during the journey, you just don't do that. You just sit back and you're just like, you're always in reaction mode and you're emotional and whatnot. But when you have time with your family and you have some downtime, you're not as busy, that's when you start to reflect on things.
It's crazy because this holiday, I went through the same thing. Last week, I really tried to shut it down starting like late Wednesday. And obviously it flowed a little bit into Thursday because that's just how it goes. But it was probably the first 5-day stretch where I literally had nothing. Like yesterday, I woke up and I'm like, all right, what do I have? And my wife was like, we have literally nothing today. We're doing nothing. Yeah. And it was just a time to realize, do you guys realize we're almost 2 years since the pandemic started? It's insane. Yes. And I just think about what 2021 has been. It's been an insane year for all three of us. So many changes. I mean, we've got, kids growing up. I mean, Cooper and Case, I know.
Yeah, and now Ben's 5 years old.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but they're getting big, and seeing them. The twins just had a little birthday party last week, and seeing the
Darren
kids.
wasn't invited.
No, he was. He was like, look, if I'm going to come to Oklahoma, I'm only going up for Choctaw Casino and Resorts. That's the only reason.
That's the only reason I'm going that way.
But just seeing it and my kids and Judea and like all the things that are evolving, but then professionally, all the things that we have done professionally, like in our day job that we call it. And then the partnerships with Tito's Vodka, with Choctaw Casino and Resorts, with Sleep Number. Yes. In Good Taste. I mean, all these, it's just been an incredible year, but it has flown by. Yeah. And sometimes you're just so in the grind, you don't stop to realize, man, like,
we're really putting work in.
We are putting work in. But man, honestly, but also too, just the gratitude. And I know I'm like a month late, but you take a step back and you realize, and it's like, man, the opportunities that we've had just over this year, and who would have thought, 21 months ago, right at the start of this, like that we'd be sitting here today and be like, damn, 21 was a great year. It was a hard year. Yeah. It was really hard in a lot of different ways. But man, there's been a ton of opportunities, and just I don't know. I'm just super thankful.
Yeah, I'm glad you two got some time to reflect and think back. You know what I was doing this last week, Christmas break?
What were you doing?
Yeah, let's hear about it, Ben.
Yeah. I was putting together a damn basketball goal. Have y'all ever done that before?
Yes, I have. Yes, I actually have done. That's one of the things I have done before.
It truly is the biggest. Find yourself a spouse and put together a basketball goal. That is the best therapy.
Therapy or way to get a divorce?
Way to get a divorce is what I mean. You will see how strong your marriage truly is if you put together a basketball.
All right, so question for you is, how many different size McKinney wrenches did you need?
Dude, here's the thing. I was trying an Allen wrench. I was trying a Prosper wrench. I was trying every wrench in the toolbox, and I could not put this thing together.
Oh, man.
So we got Cooper in case, obviously, when he's older, but we got Cooper. He's been begging for a basketball goal. So we finally, got him one. And
No, are you talking about the big one, like the gorilla ones, or are you
like
talking
a legit
about
basketball goal?
Okay, who dug the hole?
No. We didn't.
Oh, you're
we
dropping,
didn't
you're dropping name brands.
Yeah, well,
I
I'm
see
just saying. No, we just did one.
we
not too
went
long
Lifetime.
ago.
We went Lifetime.
Oh, you went Lifetime? Okay,
Yeah, Lifetime.
Yeah.
So it's got the base.
Base on
you
the bottom.
fill
Yeah.
water.
So you
or
can
whatever.
roll it around.
Yeah, you
okay.
roll it around. You can move it. Whatever.
How hard was that one?
Well,
There's more moving
what
pieces.
do you mean? How hard was
No,
that?
how hard was that one? Legitimately, how
It's the same thing as the digging a hole and doing all that.
No, it's not.
Not even remotely.
No, it's
the
not.
only other
Stop
step
it.
is you're digging a hole.
No, dude, you got to drop that thing in there too. Now it's
the
like
difference
cement
is-
and the whole
the
nine.
Base together was more
Hey.
difficult to do. I'd rather dig a hole than put this base together.
Let me say this: it's the equivalent of an IKEA to a restoration hardware. IKEA, there's a million pieces,
Yeah.
so I feel for you.
And literally, and here's the other.
You
Here's the
got
other
2
mistake.
months in it.
Directions are in Dutch.
Here's the other
I don't
mistake.
think that's the right terminology.
From Bangladesh.
Well, they were in 8 different. There was 8 different languages for sure. Here's the other mistake that we made that my wife made. I'm going to blame her for this one. So she had this big grand. She had this big grand plan about we're going to put this thing together. Christmas morning, he's going to wake up and be surprised. It's all put together. Santa brought it for him. So the only way, and we had this whole plan. We were going to take him to the grandparents' house. Well, it ended up not working out that way, and so he was home on what was that, the 23rd, which we were going to put it together. Yeah. So we had to wait till he goes to bed to start putting it together. Yeah. And you know me.
So this is the not Christmas Eve. This is not Christmas Eve.
This is the 23rd. We were starting to put it together because we were going to grandparents on the 24th.
Okay.
Spending the night over there. So we're gonna surprise them on the 24th, and it was gonna be a Christmas Eve gift, whatever. Well, I told her, I warned her, because he goes to bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
And so by the time we're starting this thing, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I warned her. I said, this is not going to be good if you're expecting me
You're the most selfish. You're the most selfish. To be up after 8:30, just awake in general.
A, to be awake.
I mean, come on, man. You are the most selfish dude.
No, I am.
Ever in history.
At least
man.
I called it out though. I said, for me to be awake, that's a feat number 1.
Yeah.
And feat number 2 is you're trying to make me do manual /
Just man stuff.
thought labor. So we get through, and again, literally every single step of the way we screw up somehow, and we have to redo
it again. Yeah,
and we get halfway through probably, and we realize that we don't have the right tool. And I still don't even know what the tool's called. A ratchet set, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like a socket.
Yeah, a socket, wrench, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah.
And so it's 11:30 at night, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to run to Walmart. Walmart's 24/7, right? Yeah. So I run to Walmart, I go in, and they say, hey, we just closed 11 o'clock.
Oh, Lord.
Do they?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
they did on Christmas Eve or 23rd or whatever that was. So don't have the tools, can't finish it. So it's literally halfway done. And we write them a little note. Yeah, it's in the garage. And we write them a note and said, Santa had an emergency. He had to drop off your present early.
Put that on Santa. So you threw Santa under the bus.
First it's Whitney, now it's Santa.
We said the elves had, they were so busy they couldn't put the goal together. But don't worry, we left everything here. Your parents are going to finish it for you. So yesterday,
Rudolph had COVID. He didn't want to go to work. Government gave him a check. He was like, no.
the government wrote him too many stimulus checks.
He was trying to get a job.
So that was the 23rd. So we go to the grandparents, get back Saturday, late Saturday, and then yesterday we wake up and finish putting it together. Got the right tool set.
Nice.
That's good.
Finally finished it, and then so he's over the moon.
Here's going to be and I haven't gotten you a Christmas gift.
But I want to wrap it up by saying, seriously, if you want to test your marriage, try to put a basketball game together.
So like Darren,
at 8:30 at night.
Like Darren said, that's one of the things that you're just going to start getting used to. Because the first few Christmases, it was exciting when Gia, my oldest, and it was like, okay, a little bike, and we're putting a bike together, and like that's an easy deal to put together, right? And then you add a kid, and then you add 2 more in my case, right? And now, so true story, Christmas Eve, or I guess Christmas Day, I was up till 5 a.m. putting together stuff. So, and then the kids are obviously up at
sounds
7,
horrible,
right?
So
just get used to it, and like the last 2 or 3 years, it's been a nightmare. And that's what it was. It was like Tiff and I always got in a fight on Christmas Eve. And this is like she is in like the best spirits, and she puts up with me so much, but it's just like, there is so much crap, and why are there so many pieces that you have to do, right?
Yes.
And this year was the first year I was like, you know what? Man, like we get to get our kids gifts, right? We get to do this. I get to put together these things,
right?
Wow.
And it was so fun, and I had no issues. No, trust me, because I was
making me feel that way. I appreciate you.
Yeah. No. Hey, you ungrateful, you ungrateful. But I was there, Ben. I'm telling you, I was there, and it really is, and we talk about it all the time. It's about perspective. It's all this stuff, and you've got to go through these things to realize it, because now you're going to be like, that was such a beatdown putting that basketball together. But then you and Case are going to, and Cooper are going to be out there playing together. And you're like, damn.
But we put so much pressure on ourselves.
They could care less. Did he care?
No.
He was like,
he probably could
the coolest thing ever.
He said, this is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life. He literally said that.
That's what I'm saying, man.
We got it done.
We put so much, and this is just life in general, right? Yeah. We put so much pressure on ourselves to perform or get it done or whatnot. And when the kids wake up, man, it's Christmas, dude. I mean, if he had the box and saw the box, he'd probably be like, oh man, that
was my stance. I was like, I don't know why we're trying to do this late at night. Like, he's going to be excited.
Glass of wine.
Well, I mean, here's the deal. And David has said this, right? Is we think that everybody else cares so much, right? We build it up in our head. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares. Like, hey, I'm a kid. I got a gift. I don't really care. Like for me, dude, because we did this little, wait, hold on. I got to make sure they're not listening. Santa brought a Jeep, right? A little Power Wheel Jeep for the twins to share. And Santa left me a little bit to do. And so I was like making sure the decals are like perfect and I'm like, they will never freaking, I get done and I'm like, no, they'll never notice this. No. They'll never notice how hard I worked at getting these decals put on perfectly. It really doesn't, man. It's just the idea of it, the thought of it. That's
why we're doing clothes from now on forever. Just clothes.
But how serious are you guys? I know Tiff's probably really serious about this. I'm not sure how serious Whit is, but it's so serious in my house that Santa has to eat the cookies. He came down the chimney and took bites of the cookie. Oh yeah, like late, that night.
Yeah. Whit's so serious. She had my ass out there Christmas Eve ringing jingle bells out the window.
Santa did.
Santa was. But no, Dad was out there ringing jingle bells, acting like Santa was flying over. That's how serious she takes it.
You're done.
And if you know me, I don't take it serious at all.
You're gonna. I guess the next time we have this conversation about Christmas, it's gonna be, what age is it that
they know,
dude,
that they find out?
Yeah, well, you know what, man?
I had two older brothers. I had two older brothers, so I found out.
I found out early.
Yeah, I found out early. So I had two older brothers.
Yeah.
I don't even know when it was when I'm like, what are you talking about?
You're still a believer.
Wait a minute,
Tyler. I'm confused. You don't know.
So anyway, it was a great time. You're right, Tyler. Put it into perspective. Thankfully, we're all thankful I was able to get them. I do. Well, no, I'm not going to air that out over here. I was going to say we might have to have a conversation about how many toys you do get. What's the limit?
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Is there a budget of some sort? Because I don't think there is one.
What we did, because my mom was the opposite of this. My mom was like over the top, and I mean, even to the point where at points, right, it was like we as a family had to pay for Christmas for a long time after. And so, but I loved it. And I loved, and we get it. I get it from my mom. It's like, she just wants to make people happy. Like, and she wants to see that, like, she could not get anything, and all of her joy comes from giving gifts.
Yeah, screw her.
Tiff is the same way. Tiff is the same way, but we decided that, hey, our kids get 5 gifts. They get a Santa gift, a Mrs. Claus gift, and then 5 gifts. Mrs. Claus. Okay. So it's a way to sneak something in there. And then Mrs. Claus,
Elf Bernard,
it's awesome. Always brings an outdoor gift. So like whatever it is, it's an outdoor. It takes the kids outside.
For obvious
That's
reasons.
a gift for everybody.
That's right.
For obvious reasons.
Yes.
Sure, ass out the house.
Out of that. No more trinkets in the house. No more little characters that are just going to be left around.
I love Tiff, man.
Oh, man. So 5.
Thinker.
And then you just shut it down.
Yeah. Yeah, we exceeded that limit. So
yeah, we did too. Yeah, we went way past.
Next year. There's always next year.
Yeah.
But it was great, man. I really do. This was a special weekend, and man, it was great.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, yeah. So that brings us to, we've been teasing this for weeks now.
Been teasing me.
Big announcement.
Oh, yeah, it is a big.
You know what?
I don't know. It feels like a memorial today.
Feels like
I walked in today and it felt like a memorial. I didn't know. I walked in this morning.
Somber, trumpets
a little somber.
If you're not watching, we're actually all wearing black, all black.
Slow songs when I came in. Today is the day that we are going to announce the rebrand of our show. And for the longest, it was the Darren Woodson Show. And guys, I've always felt that, early on, I was humbled by the fact that we wanted the name of the Darren Woodson Show. We wanted to figure out a different name, but the Darren Woodson Show was what we started.
Well, little background on that is because Ben and I are like, dude, Darren Woodson Show, for sure, 100%. Like, he is what he's accomplished in his career and life, and the respect that he has from not only his peers, but the community, fans. And it's like, dude, it's a no-brainer. Like, it's got to be that, right? That's instant credibility because of what you've done, right? We're just riding your coattails. And he fought it. I mean, it was like weeks and weeks and weeks. He's like, no.
Are you sure?
Maybe 2
No.
minutes.
I don't know if we should do this.
No,
I don't. Sure?
No, like, I don't want
nice.
that.
It took 2 minutes. And I was like, oh, absolutely, David Darren Woodson Show. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
We actually came up with another name. And Darren was like, actually, I kind of like the Darren Woodson Show.
Actually, it's the Darren Woodson Show.
But as the podcast has gone on, I think that the name of the Darren Woodson Show, I think we all agree on the fact that it was just so segmented into being singularly. It didn't really cover who we really were. And it wasn't until we really started thinking about it, and it was more so you two really started thinking about it, and we all started really figuring out, like, this show is bigger than just the Darren Woodson Show. It's bigger than just a certain category of the old football category of, what we do. This show symbolizes so much, and we cover so much positive talk and all. So we changed the name
to the Ben Gibbs Show.
To
Ben Gibbs and friends.
We changed the name to the One Shot Podcast. Just one shot. And it signals everything that we really stand for, because in life, we only have one shot at this. Every day you have a shot to either be one shot to be positive. You have one shot to change someone else's life. You have one shot to influence your children or someone else's child or whatnot. We wanted this show to be more than just the Darren Woodson Show. It needed to cover so many other positive bounds that are out there. So the One Shot Podcast is what we're going to start, how we're going to start moving forward. I'm happy for this day, man, because, I'm joking about the memorial. I just think that there's so many other communities out there that we can touch with this name, because this name signifies a positive influence that we can just have within the community.
Yeah, I think if anything that the pandemic, Tyler, you talked about, it's been almost 2 years now, and I think that if anything that it's reminded us of is that we really do only have this one opportunity at this life, and life is short and can be short. And what are you doing with it? How are you spending that time? We talked earlier this year. I had a close friend. He was in his early 40s. He and his family were traveling, got into a car wreck, and instantly he died on the scene. And this guy was just one of the most positive, uplifting, doing everything in the community kind of people that you know. And he did everything the right way by the book. And his life was over just like that. And that put in perspective, like I said, the pandemic, that incident, it just really has reminded me that we really do only get one opportunity. And what am I doing personally? What are we doing each day to maximize that one shot that we have?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's what this show has been about. We just didn't know it.
That's right.
And what it will be going forward is having discussions, interviewing great guests, talking about topics that encapsulate that mentality of you really only have one shot at this.
Right.
And it can be as broad as that, one shot at life, or as you said, Darren, you get one shot at that job opportunity.
That's right.
You get one shot at your marriage. You get one shot at being a father or a mother. These are the things that we want to talk about going forward, and these are the topics so that we can really help ourselves and our listeners maximize their one shot at this.
And I think, and you're exactly right. Our foundation as a show, and if you've been listening to us and joining us on this journey, it's been very much guest oriented. Okay, what have you done with the opportunity that you've had?
Right.
What have you done to maximize it? What kind of impact are you making? So the show is not going to feel like this new overhaul, and we're going to be something completely different. That's not the case. We rebranded to align our mission, with who we are. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you could see over Ben's right shoulder as you look at it, Darren's as you look at it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Darren's right shoulder as you look at it.
Yeah.
Just look at the wall.
Yeah.
Just look at the wall. Yeah.
And this is a symbol to just really signify taking advantage of that one shot, as the great poet Eminem says, right? And Lose Yourself. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip? It's one of those things that we want to encourage our community and listeners and our peers is when you wake up in the morning, what are you going to do to take advantage of the one shot you've been given? And like Ben, like you said, we never know when that one shot is up. Yeah. And we're talking about this one shot at life. We start at life. You have one shot at this life. What is the accumulation of all those days that you wake up saying, I'm going to take advantage of today? And I'm going to find the courage. I'm going to find the stamina. I'm going to find the joy in waking up every day the best I can. Not every day is going to be good. Right. Not every day is going to be easy. We're not saying that. But rising up above all of those negative factors and negative forces that are trying to pull you down and winning and having a winning record when it comes to, hey, I just want to give up, or, hey, I want to push forward.
Yeah. And if you are seeing the sign, if you're watching on YouTube, and you'll obviously be able to see this even if you're just listening at some point, we worked with a local designer here, a very talented local designer. And you know us, if you've been listening for any amount of time, we're not the brightest bunch. And so what he was able to do is he
Foster words very well.
We kind of just fly by the seat of our pants. But he was able to really break down the mission of this podcast and really symbolize it through this logo. So I'm not going to be able to do it justice like he could if he was sitting here talking about it. But I did want to explain a little bit why we chose what we chose, why the colors are the way that they are, why the logo looks the way it does. So first of all, you'll notice the symmetry of the logo, and he explains that represents balance and wellness, which is something we talk about all the time, right? Mental wellness, physical wellness. That's what he was trying to convey there with the symmetry. The movement, if you can see, it's kind of a flowing logo, right? The S kind of flows into the O. That symbolizes change. And we all go through change, and whether it's comfortable or not, at some point you do go through change. But also change signifies growth and the ability to grow and move past where you currently are. As you notice, the logo starts bottom left and goes up to the right, which is an upward trajectory, raising up, which symbolizes improvement and bettering yourself. And again, another topic that we talk about all the time. That's the whole show, is how do you better yourself and how do you improve? And then lastly, the color. And he chose this fire tone for the reason of desire and passion, right? We talk about, what is it that you're pursuing? Are you passionate about it? Do you have the desire to it? Because it's easier to work hard when it's something that you're after. Right. And that's what the color scheme here. So he did an unbelievable job of this logo. We didn't help at all.
You don't give him his name. You don't give
Axel.
Name.
He's your friend, Axel.
Axel, friend of
5G Studios. Yes. And he encapsulated way better than what we could have, I believe. So super excited about this new logo. You're going to see it everywhere. Obviously, our Instagram's going to change. Our YouTube channel, we're going to start branding stuff. And from a logistical standpoint, because I know that's, you may be wondering, well, am I going to have to resubscribe somewhere? The goal and the intent is that nothing changes from you on your end from a consumption standpoint. Literally, all you're going to see different is a new logo and a new name. But if you're following us on Instagram, the name's going to change, but you don't have to re-follow. And then if you're already subscribed on the podcast app and on YouTube, nothing changes. You're just going to see a new logo here starting in the new year. So don't be freaked out when you see that. But the goal is that you don't have to do a single thing. You're still going to hear us just the same way as you did.
Yeah.
You don't have to resubscribe. Nothing's going to change from you on
you know what that goes. And I know we just went through all the details, but when I really sit here and listen to you guys talk, the one thing that I really realized over the last couple of years when we started this podcast, because we started this podcast and it was based around the name Darren Woodson Show, but it just signified sports. And we wanted to be much broader than just sports. It was never our intent to just talk sports. That was never our intent. And things just naturally and holistically started to blossom into a lot of people just reaching out and just want to hear positive, just wanted to see that we were a positive light. And I can't tell you how many people came up to me over the last year and a half and just said, look, man, I just love the show based on the fact of your topics and your guests and the journeys and, the roads that they've traveled. And I've heard, the stories of, they hit rock bottom and how they bounce back. I mean, and that's just a much broader audience than just sports. It just, to me, it means so much more that we've gotten out of it. We broke that mold of just talking football. It's so much bigger than that.
Yeah, and that's part of the name change, right? Because when you think Darren Woodson, the automatic assumption is, it's a sports
show. Yes. Yeah.
And to your point,
it's
that's
the
not
furthest thing away from a
sports podcast. We want to talk
right.
about real life. This is our second act, if you will. We're not athletes anymore.
Yeah.
Right? We're fathers and we're coworkers and we're husbands and we're, these are the conversations.
And we're vulnerable. We've gone through, we've had some wins. We've had a lot of losses and how we've bounced back. It's just, I think the vulnerability of this show just speaks for itself. Yeah. And a lot of men that are listening to the show, it's good to get there.
Yeah.
We got to get there.
Yeah. Then I want to take you back to a little upstairs living room. Not little, actually, it's really big, but
sound suck.
Yeah, think back to the pandemic. Right, because when we started this thing, originally we recorded the first couple episodes at the Cowboys, but then the pandemic hit. That wasn't accessible anymore.
Right,
and we had to quickly shift and change and adjust, and we started doing podcasts out of your upstairs living room. What thoughts come to your mind when you think about that time?
Dude, we had no idea what the hell we were doing.
Still don't.
We still don't, but we were really clueless back then. It had all kind of noise. A dog was barking out in the back. My wife was on a presentation call downstairs. We could hear her talking over the mics. My kids were running around. It was just, chaos for the most part. But again, it was, the fun part about it, and I don't know how fun it was for you guys, but to see your guys' commitment. I mean, Tyler was driving from freaking Salina at the time, and that's a good hour and some change.
If you're not from the DFW area, it's way far north from where Darren lives.
Ben's coming from Prosper, which is a good 30-minute drive. I mean, it just, watching everyone's commitment to this and nothing, I'm a firm believer that there's no instant success stories. It's just not. I mean, you put the work in. Yeah. And as you put the work in and you watch, I'm watching you guys go through this and making these commitments through COVID to come all the way up. And we're doing it upstairs in the little loft area of my house, man. And again, it was just that journey just really, and when I really think about it, we could have easily quit back then. Mm-hmm. We could have easily said, no, we're not doing it.
It's not worth it. Man. We're too busy.
Yeah. We did.
Too much going on.
Didn't quit.
And that's what I think about is, because I'll be honest with you, and Tyler mentioned this earlier, when naming it the Darren Woodson Show, my assumption was, dude, this thing's just going to blow up day one, right? Darren's got this big following. Everybody loves him. This thing is just going to explode.
Right.
What I didn't realize was, no, you still have to put in the work.
Yeah.
Nothing's given to you no matter who you are.
That's right.
Now, obviously, there's some people that have reached a certain level and they already have but they didn't start out with that.
That's right.
And so that's what we are. So what it's taught me is it was almost like I'm glad it didn't just explode and we weren't known worldwide immediately. I'm glad we've had to put in the work and the time and show up consistently and cut our teeth. I'm glad that because it's taught me personally that as fun as this is, it's still work.
Yeah.
And to get to where we want to go, it's still going to take effort. And I think a lot of times in my life, I try to skip the work. I put this persona out that I'm a hard worker and that, I'm up early. But the truth is I'm a lazy person inside.
Right.
And I'm fighting that laziness constantly. And so what I'm glad about this, it's been growth for me personally, and I'm sure it has for you guys as well. Yeah. I'm glad it wasn't an instant success overnight. I'm glad we didn't get some $20 million. No, maybe not.
Come on now. Hey, stop now. Don't go that far now, brother. Come on now.
But it will make that moment, when it does come, it will make that moment much sweeter in my opinion. Yeah. Because I know that we started in an upstairs living room through COVID when it was super inconvenient to drive that far and come do this. But it was just fun. It reignited a passion in me that I hadn't had in 10 years since I last played football. And it was something that was just fun again. It was fun to look for, to wake up excited. Oh, we get to talk to this person today. I get to research this topic today. It's been such a blast looking back these last 2 years.
Yeah, man. It's
almost 2 years.
I agree. I think going through sacrifice and having to sacrifice, okay, hey, we've got to step away at times from our day job. We've got to come in Saturday mornings, record, step away from our family. Without that sacrifice, without the appreciation, would just be very different. And I think listeners, like the commitment, right, that we have to this, to partnering with all of you in this journey, is really important. And man, I'm excited. I'm excited for what this upcoming year, I guess, in a couple of days. Crazy 2022. But what all the things that we're going to be able to do. I mean, one, to kick it off.
Well, hold on. Before we get there, before we talk about the future, we do want to thank, because a big part of this isn't free.
That's right.
Right? This costs money.
Yeah.
It's not like we just, it's not like the studio is given to us for free or the equipment. These things cost money. And we are super grateful for two of our partners that have come alongside us this year.
In a big way.
In a huge way.
Yeah.
We teased them earlier, Darren. The only reason you go that far north is to go to Choctaw Casino.
That's it. That's the only reason.
They've been a huge, great partner of ours. Have given us free reign to do whatever they haven't tried to take any control over our content. They haven't said, hey, you need to talk about this or you need to talk about that. They've literally just given us the keys and said, hey, you keep doing what you're doing. We'll support you on the back end. And I can't thank them. We can't thank them enough for that support.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, I mean, you do have to get up there. If you're tired of your family right now from all this holidays, get yourself up to Choctaw Casino, the brand new expansion. In fact, I saw just on the way down, they give money away.
I saw a commercial yesterday during the game.
They give money away every single month. And this next month, the month of January, they're giving $2 million. They call it their Monumental Millions giveaway, which is the most they've given away since we've been partners of theirs. So if you hate free money, then don't go up to Choctaw Casino Resort. But if you want to be a part of something,
Ben, I don't think has gambled much. No, I don't think he really.
No, it's not really free money. But anyway, get yourself to Choctaw Casino. And then the second partner of ours, very recent, very new, but same concept. Hey guys, we love what you're doing. We just want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
we're not going to mandate that you say anything or do anything. You do your thing, and we'll be on the backside, and it's Sleep Number.
Yeah.
And they've been gracious enough to bless us each with our own customized Sleep Number 360 smart beds. Tyler and I have talked about this a little bit recently, Darren. It's been, and I'm not just saying this because they're a partner of ours. It really has been. My wife raves about it every morning.
And you guys know how much I struggle to sleep. Yeah. I mean, it has changed everything in my life in the last, and it's only been about a month and a half since I've had the bed, man. But you can sleep at different angles. If I want to sit up and read at night, I can. Just
when
so
your
many
feet
things.
get cold, you can turn on the heat.
I don't even turn the heater on. I use that chiller, bro. That chiller is.
How's that been? I didn't get
because you're the only one that got the chiller, so you get your little cocoon.
Because at night, I get hot at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then I wake up and I'm up for a while. It puts me right back. The chiller comes on, puts me right back.
So has it like fixed your old man prostate issue where you got gone?
Okay.
Well, you're locked into the chiller, so I can't get out.
Disclaimer: we are not doctors, and we do not claim that this will cure your prostate issues. Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Instead of going 5 times a night, I maybe go once a night. But
it's just so comfortable. I just go, man. I just go, man.
No, I'm telling. I
cycle to where it cycles
sleep through the night.
Yeah.
That's all,
and
that's awesome.
I noticed the same thing, and I'm not just saying that. That since I got the bed, it's not every night, but more nights than not, I'm sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Takes away all the
only challenge, and I'm going to say this, guys, the only challenge that I have is when I'm waking up now, it's like, okay, this is the most comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like, the difference is, you know how when you wake up in the morning, like your body all night's like, get up, wake up. And then at like 30 minutes before you're supposed to wake up, you're like, oh, I'm so comfy.
Yeah.
But now I'm just comfortable all the time. Yeah. It is hard to get out of bed.
Yeah. That needs to be their new disclaimer.
Yeah.
We'll make you a lazy.
We'll guarantee 9 a.m. sleep-in times.
So get yourself to Sleep Number, or local Sleep Number. They're all over the place. Get yourself to sleepnumber.com.
Am I allowed to talk about the future now?
Well, just a second.
No. So
thank you so much to our two partners.
Go ahead.
Sleep Number and Chalk Talk Casino. Now let's talk about the future.
So you just shut me down for that. Did you see that?
You didn't even wrap it up. You just in the middle of a sentence. Oh, could I talk about what we're doing now?
No, we were done. Hey, thank you. We said thank you, and then I'm going to stop you.
You know what?
I'm going to stop you, and I'm going to thank him again.
I do want to say this.
Hey, just to impose myself.
Before we go there,
I know where this is going.
The growth of this show has gone. Like when we started this show, we kind of had roles. We kind of had roles. So when we started this show, Tyler was supposed to drive the show.
My role is not say a word.
Wait a minute.
My role is not say a word.
Let us talk right now. Let us talk. Here we go. Right. So we started this show, and when we first started talking about this, I was like, okay, we can do this podcast. I've seen Tyler on TV. I've watched Tyler on radio. Tyler's hosted a ton of shows, and I've been like, okay, we can do this because I know Tyler can drive this show. That's the easy part. I know Ben can do all the production. He's done this stuff. He hasn't done it before in the past, but he's a worker. He's a workaholic. He's going to research. Okay, here's a team. We got it. Mm-hmm. So we come on air, and here we go. Tyler's driving the show for the first year. We're just clicking along. Ben's still doing his deal. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what month it happened. It's about the first year. After about the first year, Ben
there's this word called ego.
No, it is an ego. And this dude used to hate the camera. And now all of a sudden he loves the camera and loves
now we have four cameras pointed on me.
Has grown wings. He came out of the cocoon.
He's growed up. Not grown up. He's growed up.
Ben the butterfly.
Yeah, he's come out of this. Now he wants to drive the show.
Now we have all four cameras pointed on me. Y'all's microphones are actually muted. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
Needs to hear himself with his voice.
Yeah.
No, we joke, and obviously I'm not. We joke, but it really is funny thinking back. Like I really was. Anytime as soon as I saw that red light going, I got super nervous.
Yes,
super, because I'd never done anything like this before. Nor did I ever want to do anything like this before. I mean, I love the idea of a podcast, but never like me actually being on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And so it is funny how
what happened.
But it is just another. Not to take this too deep, but it is just another example.
He's at the grocery store, like I recognize that voice. Are you Ben Gibbs?
Oh, I need to get that.
The amount of autographs I've signed is insane. Just kidding, of course. No, and not to take it too deep, but it really is an example of just getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Because I was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's gotten much. And again, I still don't love seeing myself on camera as much as we joke. I really don't. I still don't love it, but just the growth of getting used to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as David said, as you said earlier, Tyler, nobody really cares.
Yeah.
I used to think my voice. I hate my voice so much, and I still don't love it. But my point is,
but you've overcome
the fear. Now I could care less what it sounds like. It's just just as long as the message is getting out there.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's good.
Anyway,
okay, Tyler, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and go.
What are we doing?
The future.
And I was trying to continue it along the thanking our sponsors and partners and all that. Then we obviously had to derail and talk about Ben for a little bit. So,
of course. My favorite subject.
Most favorite. But one of the things that we're really excited about is partnering with Sleep Number for the Super Bowl this year, and going out to LA. I mean, God forbid, something shutting it down for some reason. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we're trending in the right direction, but really excited. And it's funny because, I started playing in 2010 and 11 years later, I'm going to my first Super Bowl. The first time I'm actually going out there.
Yeah, I've never been to the Super Bowl either.
So really, really excited. Why would you, Ben?
Yeah. It's called being a fan.
Which you're not.
My son, my
have you been as a fan?
I haven't. I have not been to the city when the Super Bowl was.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I've not done anything.
God, I've been to too many.
And my son actually this week was like, "Hey, for my birthday, can we go to the Super Bowl?" And I was like, Son, you are tripping. Your expectations of what birthday presents are.
My birthday this year.
I am not spending $5,000 for you to go to the Super Bowl.
That's a great experience with your son.
Yeah, someday when he gets a job and he can
If
pay
Uncle
for
Darren can get us some tickets. If Uncle Darren gets us tickets.
But we're really excited because we're gonna be there in the media section, and we're gonna have 3 days of access there, and using the Sleep Number Studios, and we're gonna have a ton of players and some really cool, unique guests. So make sure to follow us on social media, and we're gonna document as much of it as we possibly can. But this February, it's gonna be a really cool experience to be out there. So.
What about Tyler as far as content of the show?
Yeah.
You teased this earlier. Is anything changing with the new name? What?
It's not going to change, right? The foundation of who we are is going to stay consistent, and we're going to bring on guests that have taken advantage of the opportunities that they've gotten. Either taken advantage, or they're in a battle, or they've got a unique story. But again, it's themed around taking advantage of the one shot at this life. And those are the people that we get encouraged by just in our lives that we want to share with y'all. That's, whoever it may be, whether it's, a CEO from New Zealand, or it's a cancer patient, or it's an athlete, or a musician, whoever it is telling the story of, okay, hey, listen, there's something that I believed in and I was passionate about, and I believed in myself enough to get over the fears, to not listen to all the people that said I couldn't, and I'm going to push forward, and I'm going to pursue this, and it didn't go right. There's challenges, there's obstacles, there's little wins, there's setbacks, but overall, they're committed to taking advantage of every opportunity. So we're still going to have the guest shows, and then I think we're just going to be really hyper focused on giving our listeners and viewers some tangible goals, tools to take those and just implement them. We're not going to be the how-to. We're not going to be the rah-rah motivational guys. That's just not who we are. We're going to actually, we want to give you, and I think we're just going to be more hyper-focused on, and what we call our roundtables. We're going to be more hyper-focused on giving you tangible tools that you can use to implement. Use, don't use, but at least you have the choice. Right. Things that we believe and have made impacts in our lives or our guests' lives, that you can listen to. Hey, it's going to be a quick, 35, 45-minute episode, but it's going to be something that you can take. And whether it's going through a book that we believe in that we've read, or a curriculum that a guest has taught, or something that we've taken or gone through, we're gonna bring that to you and then let you take it and run with it.
Yeah. I think, especially in this day and age, we're so busy. We have so many things going on. It's hard to really do the research, quote unquote, yourself. And that's what we kind of want to take over. We want to take that burden off of you of having to do this is a resource for you to learn something you didn't know before.
That's right.
Whether it's a new study that just recently came out, whether it's a fitness, idea that you didn't know about. These are the things, again, all with the common goal of wanting to better ourselves and wanting to better our listeners.
Just give you a different look.
Yeah.
Maybe a different approach. And when you're driving to work, or you're at home and you put your headphones on, because there's a lot of us at times, there's a lot of people are busy.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are busy and they don't have the time to maybe pick up a book, but you can catch a little nugget here and there. And I think that's what we're actually trying to provide, nuggets for skills, whatever your skill is, or whatever it is that you're going through in your life. Maybe there's some nugget that can help you, cross the finish line.
And help you or help someone you know.
Yeah.
I mean, take it, you hear it, and you're like, oh man, I know someone's kind of struggling with a new transition. Okay, and then we got to transition. Hey, share it. Share it with your community, with your peers, with your family. Like if you've got a teenage son that's struggling in football or baseball or something, and bring on someone that's overcome adversity to compete at that level, share it.
Right.
Like that's what we want to be able to do, is just be a tool for you to share with your family or friends or peers or coworkers and yourself, and use that as a as a resource.
So to wrap this up, the change will take effect this obviously coming up in January. And again, just a few house cleaning items. There will be no episode January 3rd, but there will be. So our first official One Shot podcast episode will be January 6th, Thursday, January 6th with a roundtable.
Boom.
And then we'll pick back up the following week with our normal 2-day-a-week episodes. So this change, like I said, goes into effect in the new year. I'm trying to, everything I've looked into, again, I don't know, I have no clue what I'm doing, but everything I've looked into, nothing should change from your standpoint as a listener. You should still be subscribed. You're just going to see a new logo and a new name. And if you're following us on Instagram, nothing's going to change. You're just going to see a new logo and a new name.
That's right.
So the goal,
the guests, we stay along the same line as guests, bringing on guests. And,
again, the goal is to keep this as transition free from your hands as possible and make the transition as smooth
we all
as
know
possible.
how much we're creatures of habit and change is hard. So we're going to try to have as little change for you.
So starting next week.
Except in the future, we didn't really mention this, is we really want to take, if you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening right now, jump on YouTube, jump on social media, check out the logo, because what we want that brand that I'm pointing to right now, that branding to represent all the things that we talk about. And there will be apparel that goes along with it, and we want that to represent it. We want it to be something that's like, oh, you listen to One Shot, okay, man, you're trying to do something.
Fly the flag.
Yeah,
That's
right. But here we go. I know you want to wrap up. We're not going to, Ben.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my foot.
3
down.
more hours. Let's roll.
Here we go. This is the last episode of the year. Personally, what do you want to do in 22? What is your focus personally for the year 2022? I'm going to give you guys a second.
Yeah.
I'm already ready.
Go.
I want to be a better dad. I want to be a father. I want to be a better father, not just to my 5-year-old, but to my older kids. I got a 28-year-old son, 24-year-old daughter, 21-year-old boy, and then a 5-year-old. I want to be a better father all the way across, and I want to be a better communicator with my wife. That's the goal. I don't care about it. I mean, first of all, love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's one. And then I just want to be a better family man.
How do you quantify that? How are you going to live that out? Communicating.
I need to communicate better on a day-to-day basis on just what, and it starts with my wife. I've noticed, and this is just me, I've noticed, and again, having perspective over Christmas is just, she does a much better job of communicating than I do. And I need to give back that way. Because I think that's a healthy, if my kids can see me communicating with my wife, having some humility, going back and forth, then I think that's more growth for my kids. So that's the one thing I definitely want to get better at.
It would help me out if you communicated with your wife, because then when my wife talks to your wife, and my wife tells your wife about an event that your wife doesn't know about, it helps me out when you actually talk to your wife.
Why you got to bring up old stuff, man? Why you got to bring up the new beginning?
2022.
It's a new beginning. That's in the past, man. Come on, man. Stop bringing up old stuff, Ty.
Yeah, it is.
But I do appreciate you helping me out.
It is shocking the amount of emails you have on unread.
Oh, dude.
And text messages.
Hey, that has nothing to do, but that's business, right? That's business.
Yeah.
I'm talking about family.
All right, Ben.
So mine is an abstract goal, but I'm going to quantify it with tangible things I can do. Yeah, things I can do. I know we were joking earlier, but it really is to be less selfish in 2022. I'm a selfish bastard. And my goal in 2022 is to be less selfish. And how I'm going to do that is I think of a few different avenues. Number one, I think of the time I spend with my wife and my kids. 2021 was a great year from a business standpoint, if that was the only thing I ever had going on. But I put so much time into it that it did take away. I took a step back as a father and a husband. And I want to take at least a half step forward again in that arena. So I guess the way I see that going is having collars on my time spent in the business. And I know we can work from anywhere, but maybe it's cutting it off at a certain time and we all do dinner together at night, something like that. But having intentional time, and my phone's nowhere to be found, those things. So that's how I think of in that avenue, my wife and my kids. From a community standpoint, I want to volunteer more. I know I talk about this all the time. We talk about how important service is, And literally every time I do it, it's the greatest feeling ever. But
think about Frisco Family Services, the Thanksgiving deal with
exactly.
the kids.
Being more consistent with that. Yeah. Being more consistent with the giving of my finances. Because that, it's something that's important to all of us in our faith is, tithes and offerings. So being more consistent with that.
There's still time.
Above and beyond. Because it's funny, we were always good about it until we started making more money, and we never increased the giving based on the more income, right? So it's being more diligent about that. It's 10% no matter if I make $1 million in a year or $100,000 in a year, right? It's 10%. So doing that. And then I just think personally investing more time, and as this is selfish, but investing more time on intentional progress. Like I wake up in the morning and sometimes I don't have an aim and I just end up wasting 45 minutes on the internet. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to, if I'm going to have that time, if I'm going to wake up early and make that sacrifice, I want to be pour into myself and bettering myself more. So
that's good.
2022 is a year of less selfishness for me. So I need y'all to hold me accountable to that. It's a tall task.
Good luck. Good luck with that one. All right, go ahead, Tyler. Yours.
Ditto to both of yours. I think both of those. But I think what we struggle with when we come into the new year is we have like this long list of things that we want to correct about ourselves, right? All this long list of, I got to do this to be better. I got to do that to be better. For me, my goal in 2022 is to wake up and just find joy in everything. I mean, everything's not going to be easy, but to find joy in the challenge, to find joy in sometimes the busy days, to find joy in the setbacks, to find joy, because I just think of the last 5 years. Like if I were to in the moment at any point in the last 5 years since I transitioned, like, and someone's like, man, how are you doing? You'd have the cookie cutter answer, but in reality, if I was being honest with myself, I would probably say, man, it's freaking hard and it sucks right now. Like, I don't know. And I don't even see an end to it. I don't even know where it's going to end because I'm starting this new career. We're starting a new podcast. We're moving. I mean, it's like, I don't even know when there's going to be like a sense of normalcy. But man, I look back and I'm like, I was being prepared. I was being prepared for today, right? And I'm being prepared today for 5 years from now. And really just celebrating the challenges, man. Really celebrate in your suffering. And I think both of you could probably attest and no, probably for sure would say like, man, there's just like an aura of negativity around me, whether it be work, whether it be family, whether it be something, right? And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person that, I'm not even going to ask Tyler, how he's doing because this is going to be negative. And I don't want to be that guy. I want to be able to find joy in everything. I want to find joy in my 5-year-old son asking me the same question 19 times in a row in a 5-minute span. I want to find joy in that because he's curious. Like and he wants to connect with me and not like be annoyed by it. Right. I want to find joy in, okay, hey, we've got this project coming up or we got that project and there's this and I'm living through chaos. And I want to find joy in all that. I want to find joy in having the opportunity to coach my son in whether it be football or basketball, even though I don't want to coach and I just want to be his fan. Dude, he loves that his dad is a coach.
Right.
And I just want to find joy in it. And I want 2022 the theme to just be joy because, man, the negative lens that I've been looking through for the last 5 years, it's got to go.
That's good.
That's 22
that's
for
look.
me.
Yeah, that's a good look.
Well, I'm excited, fellas. I don't know what. Obviously, we don't know what is all in store for us. Maybe, hopefully, not another worldwide pandemic times 2, but. Whatever brings us this year, I'm excited that we're roll with it. That we're rolling together and that we're going to do this thing. So appreciate you, fellas.
Shit, I'm built for it. Yeah. I'm serious, man.
Yeah,
I'm built for it, bro.
Hey,
no matter what it is, I think we're all built for it.
Yes,
and
that's it, man. No matter how crappy it is, man, it's an opportunity to be different. Yeah. You see the world crumbling around you, man. Be the light.
That's right.
Be something different.
That's good. As always, guys. The best way you can help us out is by sharing the show. Text it to a buddy of yours that you think's going through something. Share it with a group text, whatever. Share it on social media. But sharing the podcast really, really helps us out. Leaving us reviews on the podcast app, wherever you listen to this.
Yeah.
Subscribing to our YouTube, following us on Instagram.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, all these things help us out and keep us propelling forward towards the mission of our One Shot podcast.
Sure.
So we appreciate you guys. We're grateful the last 2 years. We're looking forward to the next 10.
One shot.
One shot.
All right.
See y'all next week.